anka eduro ye edwuma anka abrofo na mbeto anhye ye nananom so wo eduro na aba betam okusika kokko de akọ ene eduro no enye eduro papa no but say Ibrahim Traore or enrich ne ho de propaganda say ne be ya mo be say ni di. So I believe that it's not true. You see, you give a dog a bad name, then you hang it. Abrofo no omo sha say omo ye yodium. You are the star of Africa. You are the best president of Africa. Okohwe asia, ofango, usika kokko, ukoko, bibia odi acho. Ba we hu say mempene a na omo tu din bone.
Yeah.
Robert Mugabe jijin sase no omo tu ni din bone. Any other places. Enti oye ni omo pe a oye ni papa. One year ni omo pe dia oye ni pa bone. Say Kwame Nkrumah, for example, Isa, but we've read the literature. Do you think the coup would have succeeded if Kwame Nkrumah's body was within Ghana? Ebianka time mufo be sorry akasa ene munkum ye nyina. But he wasn't in the country. So when they declared so mutu nadia, so there was nothing you could do. And they never allowed Kwame Nkrumah back. Ni muna at the end of the day, omode ba ha omobi see.
Obusia yebe mo akoba aba KOFI TV na mprempren za de bia itakano no aha yenye interview biom eye nkomo twetwe na asese ye twetwe nti obi bia obeba KOFI TV bia no enye interview na yebe ye nipa no ebebo nkomo oti papa yinka ache ye papa ye ka eye security expert obi a wonim de ewo se tawantawa bi koso ewa man hodo mpo se bibi esi wo Ghana efa eye security ho sema papa yi wodi mu akotene ye pa in fact o shase ache years back pa utie ni interviews a fa security ho a utim so wonim de na nkasa na wadi mu akotene ache ye papa ende ono na ye ne ba betwetwe enkomo yi ni din ede Alhaji Irbad Ibrahim ono na ye ne ba betwetwe enkomo oye security expert na afese ye ba international relations so a odi mu akotene ye papa Alhaji yamakwa
Me da sepane sa kwenye me ba KOFI TV so acheka kra
papa
sam hoye
nyame adom
bebe akofin so wono oye madam for brebo me yonko brebo ni na nante ache e sign dey to me to obia e bompa ese ne ho beton na wa ba be hye ne dwuma sibio
amen yo we dey yenko the street ya hunsin tawantawan sam bebre na ene koso aman hodo bebre mu yemfa Borkina ye one particular example se ono no se amo oti omo ho afri eye France 70 enam so ama sojani ena babedi omo so sansemu ye koso yi wadaroma wakwaye obi a wodi mu akotene sa no wo gene se na ebebo ankrofo no a ma sate omo ho se so
me say ohwe Ghana inauguration and the second coming of Ghana Mampin, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, also akofinimu asan swan and pride to sumi no. A man who don't pay him for a buy, but unhu say ne fansa, Borkina Mampin, sa brantia and infim kwe chiresano, eje or Independence Square nini keka hon. It means say, or ye be other democratically elected leaders ni be enye. Unfortunately, ohwe ECOWAS say de bia yenye kebi mamin kebi yento aban say ye amampanyin na ekeka ho. But ohwe amamanya ohia adokro omo ne yare ne na ekeka ho a obo so mo a motato abayi amampanyin na hwe Nigeria, hwe Ghana, any other examples ayewo. Enti at this point in time no asrafo no dream say sebe civilians no enya omo opportunity enti ebia Kenya omo ho me no ka say out of 15 member states ECOWAS are 3 into ohwe percentage na 20% of ECOWAS is gone into one hwe ye and there are 2 or 3 more coups na ECOWAS ye guano no because ECOWAS share bo that there will be free movement of persons and goods. Say o time nema wa ha o Colonial unya problem o kwa Abuja na Lagos unya problem but nanso ye mamefo a mo ye adwuma wo okanhye makola kejetia ni na ekeka omokoto nema o Togo ahwe challenges a omo face ECOWAS esa share bo say for francophone countries AD Naira Ghana and Nigeria AD ni cedi Ghana AD no yes sir enya one single currency for the sub-region. I friend Eco. They be I say go post no ye shift. Agenda say yes 20 by 2020 ye be achieve e drew and say by say this. Enti timemfo ni be adwen say ya break bi mami nkebi. Enti yempe strong men a sebe omoka say ye fita mo betimi gina omonan so and exactly that is the kind of leadership we are beginning to see in Burkina Faso. Me who say either Afrobarometer na CDD think tank be a poll and a survey say even Ghana timemufo ni be dwen say anka yen shifting ko military rule. Meka say yin drew ho. I believe that ye to nneema year obe pe post Bosha washe nipa no oba as a president as an MP what percentage of Bosha no are you able to achieve ni na ekeka because ni nipa hia ne say ejuma awudi no ni nsonsanso e wo mo asetinem etesen bridges no wa hemfa car kwan no wa hemfa insu a ye benom se be Ghana ha ye say etumi transfer nipa ko ekura biase insu a obenom po adane problem or a teacher ni or a nurse ni this okọ riverside akwa sansu nkoda omuko school sometimes omofa canoe and so akwa drew school enti ebi dream say democracy a kwesi broni giant no ebia ene Africa yesu ne ye ban ebibrem ha boy ebira kakra because ye ha no usi hene a onsesa no until say hene ohene no be bibia ebegu akonya no ho fi ba obeka say oh bedi man paying 4 years nanso ye beto aba ye betimi yiyo wanhwe ya nipa no be use so short time no afomfom oman no ejapade enti it's a debate within the international security and international relations arena. Say, has democracy served Africa and West Africa? If not, alternatives no ne den. Sebi Ghana Armed Forces omudi omuhuni. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces is the head of the executive arm of government. Oye mampinya ya tuwa ba eyino. Inti yenka se omunyoku wa Ghana. But concerns are civilians ni be a reason, for reason. It means civilian leadership no should do more to make sure say promises are more e de amagana for no ni fapema no omubetimi achieve.
All right, yen hwe yegusu kan no ko Burkina twe no ho afi France ebeboa eye oman no aboa eye sojani na wa siso abetena so.
Mr. France for ni francophone countries no endi ni yi. Oshe Berlin Conference of 1884 any 85 abrofo no se omo cheche Africa se ne sebio ye de nam esi pampa so a ye dwudwa into those times no na Britain for choose countries are mobile dominate Portugal for be choose so ye France Germany mpo nipa bebre nim se na Burkina na hye Germany ase into ho yina na efre no Upper Volta but because Germany lose World War ninti ye chiche na some time ago Papa V issue by and Togoland issues by Volta region say omone Ghana for ewa pam say after 50 years no omo tru omo ho efri because that side on ni na Germany for there na wo hwe jeje abakosema ye say ni history trese ni papa na bibisa every Germany net enti sa Volta side on me ko Togo no na Germany for edi ho akotene pa omoluso World War no na redemarcation of Africa no e course enti that historical antecedent is still there but France for no sebe omoso omode emfahudie ama francophone countries but up to now sebio oye mampenyi wo Togo ana Cote d'Ivoire ana Guinea Conakry ana baby sa ni obebia just okoto Paris good morning sika omudi mpo omo central bank France na control safe omudi bibia France na control omo reserves France na control enti omo fa wudi any anglophone West Africa to say Ghana Nigeria ni the Gambia ni Sierra Leone so eda yentem ne say omo de omunya omo fa wudi no to say ye de no but up to now France for na control omo into omusika koko omo fango so omo bia to say Cote d'Ivoire ni na ekeka ho France na control enti sa 3 countries and omo ina so far coups ni ina ya francophone coups Guinea Conakry, Mali, Niger, and Burkina francophone. Is it that the anglophone countries are doing something our francophone phone? Yeah, nah. And answer as English speakers, no, we are not interested in coups any longer. And this is a debate you can, carry out in academia. But so far, so good. Within ECOWAS, West Africa, only francophone countries have been affected. France ni omo indi enti na sebi won se omo epusu omo ho omo akeka omo ho a omo carry out so enti se omo ni France ton kwanta omo apai RFI Radio France International sometimes any omo din kitan omo apam omo ifri ho omo se omo ni France ni bibia and official language they are even discussing whether France as the official language omo yi no mumfa kasafufro a local language to represent the people of these countries. In the sa mama me say ye fra omo AES o share French kasemo Alliance for Sahelian States inti Mali, Niger ni Burkina Faso inti enche omo say omo benya omo ankasa omo passport wan hwe ya ubekọ Burkina Faso ubehia visa and sawako because no any part of ECOWAS any longer. But member Ghana man paying for free abaso. Say obaye no or say debi. So much your mumpo efree busuanu moa and interest say sebe entokwa enda yentem. E was a yonkofa. Tomatoes are here Ghana, any JD, any other things. You rely on Niger, Burkina, also rely on Yen. Into share Accra Kumasi Road, Echo Srema. Mpempi unhu video says one mo na akra niema say ni na tema port na ebe clear Ghana enyan faso because some countries when na landlocked countries omo ni access to apple inti omo kodi dwa this omo ba Ghana inti ne omo ato free amanoni no fapem ebe batema Ghana nso beje omo to inti Ghana as a country within ECOWAS your personal interest inti ye ne Burkina ni Niger ni Mali ntumi nye gidigidi inti mampanyi akwakoto omo nkra wakwakosra omo sorry and launch of ECOWAS bibi when so omo tonsa from na so omo amma but it's a good gesture say mampanyi adwuma ye kane no ebi na oye and so share politics as diplomacy na oye adwuma o Japan embassy inti waye diplomatic wa mesuna me wa Palestine embassy inti oti diplomacy ase inti he has handed over the olive branch say ECOWAS aye krado so ompese omosa abadia ebejo omontata but as things stand right now no mojidi say being on their own will benefit them and their population better than say omobedom ECOWAS France ni UK control ni ne keka ho
kamia say odi akọ ECOWAS ho no kamia say ase Burkina Faso ne Niger ne Guinea zankrofo Sahara fo ampache say omonje ECOWAS NDBM edien na mambu gina so a omonje zankrofo ne
kanino na ye tafin kosua bom ye nanti bom na ye busua baako ni si ye ne say kusu no ekoso don amasisa ya sebe asrafo di tuo ye ewo amaman no ECOWAS na ne pame obo Inti ECOWAS say borders no ya shati borders inti nema bebre ekodi ewe dwemo ewo ho ni na ekeka ho inti mo pame yen dia sebe tintontin yenso ye betina ye baby inti say na ECOWAS esa power mo acho so omombra I say de bia be ma ho sori a obo akonhoma 20 cedis inti why ho say o ye oga oyiri e bibi kakra say meja o mepam o me say one day say na say aware no so mejai say wo kwa akosere ne busuafo say on samra ototo niem yanka oyiri wenjai enti I think the blame has to be on the leaders of ECOWAS so omo ebanium and I believe at that time they were listening to some Western powers because to an extent say alatamemu Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the whole world and Nigeria the heartbeat of ECOWAS enti na headquarters no wo Abuja enti omoma mpanyin na ye chairperson of ECOWAS at the time of one of the coup d'etats Nanado Idibipen Mahama Idibipen in the past but Nigeria mampanyin ema omo threat so omo hand over a civilian government ECOWAS be form a military coalition akwa attack which for me diplomatically was a great blunder on the part of ECOWAS leadership. Yes, yes, be threatened the force. Eba beji akonya ne de ama civilians. I'm so okay. Ya krado, obetimi amomra. E na mama miensa ni nyina ka say ya attack ba quite say ya attack nyina. Until you are really hardening them to an extent so omoji say they omobetimi anante without ECOWAS. It will take a great deal of work to convince these three nations say Omonsan bedom ECOWAS. You actually 20% of ECOWAS. You actually 2 or 3 more countries can one share ECOWAS will collapse.
Do you see it's coming that way? Say
the issue is what has ECOWAS achieved? Ghana ECOWAS here this is a time your bag ECO London in New York. Nigeria here this is a ECO why can ECOWAS not have a central banker? Here soft loaners or maya will be to me provide the amount. ECOWAS in a wire and say or ECOWAS Parliament. In Ghana Parliament our representatives from NDC and MPP. Once in a while now Kotina Parliament on Matsaba. Almost our ECOWAS Court of Justice. And so would this say you've suffered injustice and human rights abuse to me coho. But if we are si fan would the fapem age na nema so. The strength of wasra for any usika. Enti ne obebi ebe la sulala. Identity America e control area safene. Omo strong army, esa was strong currency a dollar. Enne nkran. Apartment bi oho o rent a just $3. If you are out to just $3. Now so yenya America. That is how powerful you can make your currency and your economy. So I think the focus of ECOWAS should be about having a standby force, having a central bank, having a common currency. Sebe, ye county countries are or more matter. Will be a Safanina, ye beckers of West African countries account. But I say, ye qua committee aqua conumti. Yes, Mombra Pedias, Lord, no maba betina 3 days, no moko. Mombra and crying, no maba be buffet, no moko. Yakwa kushiawa Abuja na yempe mfonso atam omobagom ubisa nipa say in the past 25 years since we started the 21st century current one they na ECOWAS are achieving. So the achievements are not substantial enough for the countries to feel that they can continue to be part of this alliance. Inti anhwe ya 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, if there are 2 or more coups within West Africa, and then ECOWAS will be on its way to collapse.
Dr. ECOWAS President, Dr. Umar Aliyu Ture, Bramo Bagana no, Eka se, Omobi Omo Aquan se Sankrofwe Pesa Mubabaka, Oma already say Ombejo, but back to Nyaokan se, Ocean Niama Ben ECOWAS, Omobo achievement bebre, almost a banner support, somebody support a man who do, say be a baniscase moi, they are sometimes ready to be supporting. And I think so, ECOWAS road, Aquan be more yet. And almost supportive vulnerables be a to school
no, but it's share what European Union are achieving. Now share ne ECOWAS ne African Union are achieving. Sebio, Mesremeka. There are 5 major regional blocks on the African continent. Omo bad time African Union. Oba West Africa ECOWAS. Oko East Africa or more IGAD. Over Central Africa or more ICAS. Southern Africa is SADC. And Arab fono. Arab fono, we've not played our cards well. Up to now, Middle East for or for confusion kakra ewo. Into omonso madam Arab League. Into the tangibles are not there. The tangible South Africa is doing well because of what? Western interest in South Africa. Brofuna ne control South Africa up to this time. But what are the tangibles? Nima Ben ebit Osiwai Road, West African Road, Papa Ben. Now across 5 West African countries, because ECOWAS nasi and are constructing. And the tangibles are not there. With all due respect to our leaders in ECOWAS, I think we need to review the literature about the focus of ECOWAS and what we want to achieve. So in the next 5 years, confidence will not be lost in ECOWAS. Nipa lose confidence. Say timemufo ekase or mope military rule. It means that they are encouraging their soldiers to carry out military coups. No. Nansen Burkina Faso almost say anka attempted coup bi bekoso. Me say enne almost say demonstration bi akoso Burkina in support of the military leaders say omo bata omo ho omo be support omo. It means that the psyche of the people, and let's say Gen Z for na wa hasese. And yeah, ba ye tu ni bebrebe no koko boy saying me talk me kotomo ani boy saying me to data saying these are the basic bread and butter issues. So it's not more too much about the system of governance you have, it's about the well-being of the people. And people are now crying out, say it doesn't matter what process we choose in getting our leaders, which for me is a dangerous ground for us to be treading. Because within West Africa and the larger African continent. And I believe, say, they can come again. Multiple generations of ECOWAS leaders have done their bit, but I think the scorecard is not convincing enough compared to other regional blocs across the world.
Burkina Faso, so omukasa omanyate omukasa motumo ho omuwani echira ombetimi dejina asoman.
Here asoman say to be a sovereign country, you control your airspace. Intention be a wimshin be a beban or tower or sentinel or other things or radar. It just say higher midday. Remember, you should control your land borders. You should be able to control the goods that come in. Smuggle them because you see cocoa ye lusu as a country through smuggling and even though we are a sovereign democratic nation. And you should control your maritime waters. You should control Apple. When you say oko jina teshi ananunwa ana osu ho bebia, you will be a friend of EEZ. Exclusive economic zone, a few nautical miles. Intina, the fish in there, the possible oil in there, and other ornaments, you know, a international community in there, apart from your EEZ. Inti, your coffee now, to me, quite to a certain extent, you could do baby, it's where international waters. But ni woman say, ni say international waters, no kwakoshe mwa. Na abrofo no the ships I can say air control a honso. Abra omonso omo man e wo baby fufuro kra. Enti I believe that by and large Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger and all the countries have what it takes. Who controls our three elements of your sovereignty where eduane na opera wo be duane no bae. Fango na opera obetime you so resources are you can blast gold, you can blast mountains to get gold. So I believe what we need is good leadership. Each country within the West African sub-region can survive without Western interference, but we need strong leadership. Nipa, what are the basic needs? If we empower local manufacturing, each of the countries, including Burkina Faso, will survive for 50, 100 years without Western interference.
I say US so no more company be Burkina Faso wha Traore ato. And so I just from say omonko. And we tell US for to bofu. BBC no US with over power your friend is Burkina Faso.
US were interest. France were interest. But usually the way they used indirect rule through our chiefs, our more control in the past, up to now, they won't take soldiers from their country to come, except in exceptional cases to say Côte d'Ivoire. Laurent Gbagbo and Sembaye na abrofo ne Palace and Ouattara. And I show must Gbagbo wache Côte d'Ivoire so akonya no so. Papa we are but third term ni Alassane Ouattara. It means say resources are muhiano we no undeniable na monka hwe emfa ho. It means say yeke bi mami nke bi ni na omo pe emfa so a mo benyin free won chen. Saudi Arabia so omo nto aba. UAE, United Arab Emirates, baby a Dubai wo. Me dey say won oyere mo ko vacation e bia mo beka say mo ko Dubai. Omo nto aba o. Okoka say yensesa government insists why is America still doing business with them? Why is Britain still doing business with them? Why is France still doing? So it's not about democracy. It's about more personal interest. And if Burkina Faso is saying they want to control their gold, it doesn't matter. You see, democracy, after independence, what the white people noticed and say, the only way they can control us is to create an alternative for changing our leadership.
Okay.
Look, even in the US, historically, the one who led them during the Second World War, Roosevelt, he was going for a third term. So I don't know, and yeah, and yes, every 4 years, 8 years, or some pain, it's about getting a good leader who has principles. And those are the principles people are beginning to see in some of these school-ridden countries within West Africa. And nipa no okay, yes and yes and yes. You know, so you're there. You know. You into mean that and say, oh, come for vacation, you're qua, your mousika, your mouse saying, say, obefia, now one was. There be a no necessary. So we need the leaders with principles. So the white people will not stop at anything. Who attempts were Burkina ever continue, sir. They won't stop until they are able to topple the ground. Because the fear is that if people begin to look at Burkina Faso, a landlocked country, an impoverished country, and under this leadership, see what they are achieving, people will say, "Yenya US phobium, yenya France phobium, yenya UK phobium." So revolution always has a ripple effect. And throughout history, a jano so opeso udumu jano. Because one dumu nintema ebe spread. That is exactly the effort they will continue to make, sir. They will use local collaborators, they will use spies, they will use molds. The ankasa wankasa nipa na umube you so to be able to betray you. So they will not stop that. But I believe that if the Burkinabe regime is able to survive for 5 years or 10 years, then we would have a yardstick to say, sir, has democracy served us well within ECOWAS, and now we can look at alternative forms of governance.
And on Jinasunama, a US military Major General Ababonti Abeka said, I said, Ibrahim Traore, you should go the name, Cocoa anywhere, war or mine, sono, as we should the enriching on. And then almost one more Ababa said, citizens and obey okay, because near Ibrahim Yano. US man any njeho BBC ha
to say Gaddafi tana Libya so 42 years, but up to now, even though initially Arab Spring initials, you mu be eka say Gaddafi why like we do almost watch or a dictator near Kika, but Libya is worse off than it was under Gaddafi. Libya under Gaddafi was the Libya ebin kwabru chire omoko Libya from Ghana. Brekum for side on nkran ha Kumasi Tamale nipa bebre ekodi ye wo Libya and Gaddafi yento aba mpo obeka se kebi mami nkebi nye adwuma bebre e wo Gaddafi ase but ayedia nipa enyaye and Gaddafi oko Medina Libya quarters omo hassle wo Libya na se omo betoto ensase isisi adan ebi fa Libya eyiye ni ekeka ho. So I believe that it's not true. You see, you give a dog a bad name, then you hang it. Abrofono omosha say omoye yodium. You are the star of Africa. You are the best president of Africa. Okohwe asia, ofango, usika koko, ukoko, bibia odi acho. But we say mempene a na omutu din bone. Robert Mugabe jijinsa no omutu ni din bone. Any other places. Enti oye ni omope a oye ni papa. One year near Mopedia, we nipa boni. Rwanda say under Paul Kagame, out of the ashes of a civil war, look at what Rwanda has become. You know what they call Rwanda now? Almost a benevolent dictator. Or you now so a dictator. Say yeah no moshase, but Rwanda is doing well. Enti me kachre me de nidie be kachre ahwefo na etiefo say yenye careful, especially ya yempanyimfo no omone abrofo no ye dealings a omonhwe our interest before their personal interest, because broni no oba ha no or the interest na share bag or the abaha wo nipa nso interest ne de And what are you doing to protect us? As for me, that is where we should look at it in our bilateral and multilateral relations with these countries. But say Ibrahim Traore or enriching their propaganda, the results are there to show that he's constructing roads, he's building factories, and I believe that Burkina Faso is doing well.
Nansiana, yati say amudika poison Ibrahim Traore as a Cote d'Ivoire baby amko meeting bisa. And this time I just say could be in Cancrophobia so Mexica 5 million bisa, I think $5 million or so. And also who send me brave. Obitima pressure ebanosi.
Pressure no obijina loyalty no credi. Look at the coups we have had in Ghana. Oma omutu Kwame Nkrumah ban so 66. They didn't survive it.
Yeah.
Oma omubetu Buzia ban. They also didn't survive it. A champion by from 72. AFRC under Jerry Rawlings, AB2 na there so. Jerry Rawlings as a military leader was the one who survived the longest. Why? Because he was young. Number two, he had loyalists around him. I say Aboa Beka wa na free untuma. And I didn't nipa ye juma. Unze minister ko baby, MP ko baby, president ko baby na asrafo address contain o makato omani. Ni hia ni sa ketwa odi KOFI. Inti say be o man 10,000 cedis every month. 1 year one man 120,000. Obit be mano 500,000. And I say, oh yeah we are me the 1 million Ghana cedi be ka ho. Obehwe na ketwa. Obetu anamombi. Inti nipa no is here with you because he believes in the struggle and the revolution. And now he's with you because of salary awutria.
Yeah.
Ejuma bia okase ontumi ntwa salary for 3 months. Oba wangaza na obebie office no. Obi abeko. This nipa ba kominu bia they believe in your vision.
Yeah.
So for any military leader or a coup leader to survive, it depends on how he has been able to impact and impart the vision he has with the people around him. But one or two things ebeboa akwantu say obi tu kwan bebrebe no o ta tu kwan ya itumi tu wade so easily. Say be Kwame Nkrumah na o te the baby. And now mo say oh Vietnam war no Kwame Nkrumah odi etituro nti behwe na yen solve. Kwame Nkrumah tam ne bag ko Hanoi na yitu na there so nti what I can also advise is that Ibrahim Traore can cut back on foreign engagements. So they be out to kwan ni ekeka with chibeda ho. You'll be naked at home. Nti I believe that they have the experience to put the necessary structures in place, whether poisoning or coup attacks and coup attempts in ekeka for him to survive them.
The indigenous ma wetimi ba Ghana tama Ghana ebie if I say yeah swear in president.
It was important for him to come.
Okay.
Burkina rely on Ghana more than many people think.
Oh, okay.
Me say Kumasi Accra Road. I'm sure some of the videos have gone viral for you to see. Yes. Heavy duty equipment. So they need Ghana for their survival. And so therefore he needed to show that goodwill. And Ghana has a history. When him said Thomas Sankara, ono JJ time. Ono so no young guy to say we are. Ono so bless Campore, ni hu nipa na omu yu so ye. Itu na ban anana there so. But we need the MSA on President Mahama any other country. And President Mahama has shown say he's not interested in allowing Ghana to be used as a launch pad. You two are there so the collaboration is done within your country to compromise the people around you and then within the region. And you don't look only within your borders. You look at the temperature within the sub-region. And I don't think President Mahama will allow, say, Abrofono be Yusu Ghana as a launch pad to topple the regime in Burkina Faso. So I think that was a sign of diplomatic goodwill. So obe join your way bia say na be ya obeba ni wo fanchen and Anibra Penya or new president of Ghana. But I believe that based upon coup attempts I so ni wakati say poisoning attempt ne ho beda ne ho so. And I believe the longer he stays within Burkina borders, the better for him say ututu akwan because and sometimes when akwan to no edinda ebata ho. Abrofo na ayewadawroma. abrofona omobeba in a set oh you say odi etitro ye ko we ko solve problem wa ha o fie de o wi na o ko solve obi problem enti obeka de so the plane we mhye na obeba ye close airport a obefa himfa say Kwame Nkrumah for example yes sir but we've read the literature. Do you think the coup would have succeeded if Kwame Nkrumah's body was within Ghana? Ebianka timemufo be sorry akasa na munkum ye nyina. But he wasn't in the country. So when they declared so mutu nadia, so there was nothing you could do. And they never allowed Kwame Nkrumah back. Ni muna at the end of the day, or modeba ha mo be see. So if Kwame Nkrumah was within the jurisdiction, even if he had lost Osu Castle and now Flagstaff House, I'm sure the civilians would have risen up to say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na omope. But only on my no there, it makes schools a lot easier. So I believe those are some of the measures. I believe they know better than I do. So we'll take care.
The Burkina at the end of the but share France and the US, Amubeka boom. And a friend is saying, say Russia for so a percent or more so, Omoba Eba support a year near Kosono. Osha France and a US, New Moki Kankui. Burkina beating Yababijina, our pressure, I freeze a man who do so.
I think Russia is beginning to act like a giant that is waking up from a long slumber. And when they say Soviet Union, ne so ama my baby, no much Soviet Union last. So when the Berlin Wall fell and the Soviet Union crumbled, Russia lose some territories or more higher independence. Omodoso, your bo mudia nyenne. Omodoso pa. But Russia made a tactical error. After the Cold War, Russia gave all the leverage to the US. Russia didn't export its language. Look at all the languages we have learnt in Ghana, or university, or SHS. When you French, or English. When you English, or Latin. Ye mami for more O level ni A level. Who learns Russian? Russians didn't do well in exporting their language. Number two, recently Russia television Eba Ghana, they interviewed me and I told them this. Russia also made a great mistake by not exporting its technology. But your phone buying our tip to our circle atama way made in Russia. Car ben on se car way at least on Toyota on him say Japan car, on Hyundai on him say South Korea, on GMC on say America car, on Escalade America car, on Range Rover UK car. Me patcho me car ba kwa Russia car. And their fashion. Nike, boots, one who made in Russia. So they surrendered everything to them. I think, sir, under Vladimir Putin, they are beginning to realize the need for them to stand up and be counted. Because all that a world superpower needs, Russia, it will be. Unya nuclear bombs, will be. Or minor song, or population, or sika. You should export your technology, your language, your culture to the rest of the world. Senegal will influence. So now they are waking up. So that's why you see they are being influential in Burkina. Obi a person ni US ni UK ni France Benantino or they come Moscow. Into more than it like a second choice for some nations of the world. But as to whether these nations who are forming alliances with Russia can survive, that's also another issue. But I think at this point, Burkina has made a decision, so only Russia, a Benante. But how far they will be able to walk, no, only time will tell.
All right. Yambra Ghana ha. O share your data system no. Kamya say ase yenim buhana lutu for send information. Say twa number we. Ase data your system your data no e out pa. E dey na ma sa ni we e koso e system no.
I think me buy na me no wodi nkomo since your days at Adom.
Yes.
Only KOFI multimedia no. That was just the time Ghana was transitioning from analog to digital. And I would praise your former employers and others say they went into it big time. Be for Kids Channel, Adom TV, or Joy News, Ninema Bebrea Moye. Intiama proliferation of TV stations, adults. Because you know, son, one GTV, I'll Metro, one Metro, I'll TV3 and TV Africa. Then obi to me, ekoshe baby, wato satellite, frequency, or to me TV. Enti debia also TV anadwoa. Send mama sendi ufoi. Oh, enna, ebi be dia dance here. Say, oh, me sendi ya say see abawoso. If we were really a serious country, it shouldn't be difficult to track these people. And I think Ghana's major problem with digital, lack of integrity, and we'll go into specifics. Let's say people are not being punished for the crimes they commit. Say, okoto bibia, obisa nipa ni say oye momo. Or say I. Say the number no it try to ne last year 9, now oye ne 8. Me say that moment I obe send this sikano. Obe free customer care. Obe share so oh, ye hu. Nanso ye be ye hu investigation.
Yeah.
Investigation may take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It can even take months. And ye hu, but nipa no wa withdraw sikano dada. Enti my investigation na we no. Nipa ben na ya twe na so. Entry obi aso. Look, in the UK recently, they began to attack migrants. And you know what the UK government did? I'm on CCTV. Obi a ye hu se wakosa vandalism no. You do over TV so. You do work court. You try 5 years in prison. In China, I know try to like NDA. Look, human beings will always do the wrong thing until there are consequences for our actions. Obi don't nipa chen on yankopa or boy. I say there be but we anyway. I made over come some gym. Obe steady.
Yeah.
But you honey there. Boni bia obedi you go scot free. So I think with all the grammar and the academic papers will present about digital integrity, how to save people's momo, if we don't look at the end of the process of cybercrime, which is prosecution, and Ghana prosecution meaning you see the wheels of justice grind slowly, but you slowly they doors. They doors on the door. Adjournment case at Sebe, you bet me the 2 or 3 sessions. I mean, in cases I for 8 years.
Yeah. You for because JB dan kwadi said that
so for how long?
So
when? Yeah. So nipa no odi obone no otumika say fako baby a opesa o de call because o report mpo enkosi aga.
Yeah.
And I believe that is where to begin. But apart from that, you say you take personal precautions with our data. Say yembre wa fo ni akokra fo o ma me say or TikTok so me nuanom ma de na ato so enti oya na wa hwe eduane we saudi we eka ho a ebe say omo enije so it means that everybody has gone on to that enti yan hwe ye na yan protect nipa data nipa bonefo bekoso a edi bone enti number 1 obi frɛ no say azumesi obi ama na obibio wa woni wobusani bi ni UK yes ya man won niam free UK obegide how will you believe in that enti first of all depending free no ye tobe ya wo ende call na blocking number no don't entertain such people enti obeka asem ko enne ochina waka ochinichi obetimi a convince ni etosomi no enye bibia obehu wa WhatsApp na obe forward yetumi be group say GHS time group SHS time group yanka say yan ho asem no obi aba be paste bibi say the 10 cities better 100 gigabytes of data when you know so well that is not feasible and I say invest 20 cities in 1 week you better send 1,000 Ghana no be aba be post obi put to make us say no dia dance say no kore ni na ekika nti bi enye bibia na obe forward and number 2 wadaroma you will be a friend third one your Pegasus.
Okay,
you see the way the cyberspace works and when say Okita mobile phone a onni ehinta sem bia bio. Yes, I say oh dana so na den egu abonten.
I see.
Insecurity, there are gadgets. Oh, hwehwe ni picture kwan ya ni uhia ni ne mobile phone number. Just your mobile phone number. With that, they can track because call I will be receiving. No, say tower be wa moha. Telecommunication tower.
Yes.
Ewo moha baby. Sa telco no. Nipa will be receive call. Say Telecel and MT and AT, Airtel Tigo. Yes. Obi will be receive call within race course, La Paz and other environments. Sa tower no na peke. Enti ye hwehwe we kira kwan ya number no be kire. Se o receive call be a towers bebre a ye wo no we na pick signal no. It means that you are within a certain kilometer radius at that particular place. And anytime you go onto the internet, there will be a friend IP address, internet protocol. Internet Ghana menti access so social media will be demand penya term na yenche no. And I say oh, we fake account. Anytime you go onto the internet, Eja, you are giving your geolocation and giving other forms of data, footprints. You bet me, I share with Chirakwan. Into untumi use electronic gadgets and yes, Sakawa. Abra Ebeka say ye nim as a serious country. Untumi use laptop in buobi, Abra Ebeka say ye nim. Untumi mfa phone and transfer obi sika, Abra Ebeka say ye nim. But prosecution no na ye slow. And my other fear also is that, say, uko deposit sika kakraka to say 5,000 or 10,000. At that time, no na fraudsters no fraud. Is it that they have infiltrated the vendors no? And I say, MTN na amufa ni pay juma, Telecel amufa ni pay juma, Airtel Tigo amufa ni pay juma, over 300 no. It could be say the criminal syndicate have used months, if not years, to recruit people to apply to those jobs. Senebe nipa no yafa no ejuma, but he's being handled by a criminal from somewhere. I believe the investigation should be wide-ranging, so we know the root cause. You could so branch more into me solve a problem no once. People are forming cybercrime farms. Obi to me ko hide dine aduane wo ho baby a obeda wo ho na nipa bebree mobile phones and laptops just to commit cybercrime. Recently Oyare Fasad Yoko echi nipa over 200.
Yeah.
If you free alata memo, I believe say being so free
Ghana, yeah.
It is a major problem, the digital integrity and cybercrime, and Ghana should take it seriously.
Yetimi track is a new adentina. Won't say Yaskami will be first be na MTN telco no entimi entry system microphone and chiom. What's happening?
I think we've allowed the telcos too much space. I know they have their regulator NCA, Ministry of Communications, but I think say kebi mami kebi nson ni bia no. Nipa so or we grass. Obi say we will dry or say there be me on found because it's a democracy. But we nipa also di dokono. Also di mo. Nipa ndi grass. Oko di grass I also ya bo.
Yes.
And I bear my beka so ni bear my beda. Oba ni bear my neda. Na ehon son ni say nyame bebo nipa. Sa na yi na eba ewiase. And I say there be ono bear my beda. O say there be enye. O say ye tikebi ma min kebi mo. Enti me ye mitimi ye ne me pe. Enti I think we shouldn't allow. Democracy has a way of allowing people to go beyond the boundaries of sanity. And they will have a cover. Say, we're operating in a free market.
Human rights.
Human rights. So we should be able to tighten the noose, Brony Becker. I won't say the telcos should be controlled by the state. There will not be competition if private sector doesn't thrive.
Okay.
But uko US, everybody will testify. Nipa will to kwan pe enim say, and you be a keke. No bit me a share telecommunication as just like that. Into the iPhones be a Apple products. It may be so say Verizon and a carrier and I be son. Or man what tight control. over ne ekoso enti na eho no obi kodi bone a ye nchi nipa 1000 enyi mo ba akopɛ at the end of the day omo nchi obi na nipa omo bechu no one time no it's likely so no ne kodi is abone no. So the state should have control. Untumi njan nneɛma saa because say you want a free market, you want Ghana to be listed as amongst the most democratic, or Ghana has a conducive enabling environment for investment in Nigeria. But some of these companies are owned by Indians. Some are owned by South Africans. How many Ghanaian companies are allowed to operate the way they operate freely here? And if Omanu is serious ankasa, every telco should have a representative from state security. Senebeya ye deja bet bomwa anansi kakra to be able to quicken some of those. But my most simple solution, let's say, there should be consequences for cybercrime. Uko you be sika through momo enya wodia yemfa unko efiase. Yema 5 years, yema 3 years, yema 10 years. Ena enye wagadre 3 years. Time I will spend it with prison and kasan. So it will serve as a deterrent because I didn't expand. And very soon, one year, people will be withdrawing their monies from the bank and from Momo and be keeping physical cash, which will affect our security. Obinim say, hey, and now our bay, Uber if you 50,000, 100,000 na be fear. Umbit me at twash also kun afesikan. These electronic payments and means of savings are meant to protect us. Yeah. But if our monies are not safe with these platforms, it means my brother bit me akwa do amina aka say or the nisika babe shem and I'll be kwa share baby a edua bi wo no say oh ma chichiri bibi wo ho okay ko finding e kika because people don't feel safe. Yeah. So I believe that the telcos need to do more, the banks need to do more, and then I believe that the buck stops with the state, it stops with the government. Abino no take his 10 position against that cybercrime and look desecration of or breach of personal data. Nina kika ho you bring a solution once and for all.
All right, you my conclusion on the friend in Burkina Faso issue na any event cyber security.
I think the world is evolving to 21st century. I buy 25 years ni. Share history. We are suffering 25 years a milestone. It means out of a century, when you quarter 1/4 no. What have we achieved as Africans? I think our leaders need to revise our notes. Many of those who end up as parliamentarians, ministers, presidents, almost started with student politics.
Yes.
So what interest do we have to make sure that we raise leaders with integrity? SRC level, nooks, because it's like a conveyor belt. If we had na kwa feed ha, or more ministers now we SRC 111, nooks 111 So I think if we want to build a new generation of African leaders, they are proud of Africa, and they cherish Africa and jealously guard our welfare. I believe we should start from our schools. And you'll be with me because you're a member of TESCON for MPP and not 10 for NDC. Obeko campuses, no say, maybe from next academic year. SRC positions ni bebre ni nooks positions. We won't say members of NDC affiliated group are friendly 10. Omone wini. Oshe MPP timer, members of TESCON. Our tertiary wing of the MPP identity. It make us say, oh, National Youth Organizer and Poababe campaign amount our campus. Into Oberwene. Oshe Legon, SRC, and other places, or affiliation with the ruling party in Nigeria. I don't think that is a very good way of screening people to be the leaders for the future. Some of these groups are important, but at that level, we need to teach people the basic principles of sacrifice. Am I going into this because of my personal gain and I'm doing it for student welfare? ena eja obi a waton abrewa pen no onim akokorabo so waton wo ma me pen wo papa wonim bo a obetimi aton no into obi a odi $100,000 enne no tete no or university no ebi a odi 10,000 and 1,000 Ghana cedis SRC dues transparency saying na yewo SRC president unim na odi sika na any executives so I believe that going forward looking at what we expect in the next 25 years our leaders coming from the tertiary institutions no, we should groom them. They should be refined leaders. They should be Pan-Africanists. They should be nationalists. They should be patriots who would want to see the well-being of our various countries and our continent. And on cyber security, why would you want to make money without working? Kaswa yese mrantie bi omoko kon 10-year-old boy. Say TV no so omo ba na omo say nana wine nana chere senchire ni kakra. Or say sika we machame unia machame ye 5 billion. Nanso me try kwan ni say oh ba for 500 Ghana bra. Say obi a wachame 5 billion e wo TV so the 500 e ye den. It means any oye no enye no kre. And I been so to make us away the moja sembie nim say ni say ubeko akodru a say kokum we ni na ekeka. Mati say bimpo to me sacrifice or more ebusuafo. Until we have to teach people whether through cybercrime or through sending you make one city when you have worked for it. Let's make sure our media space is cleansed. So we teach people that hard work is what brings prosperity and not seeking shortcuts like what people are doing through cybercrimes currently.
Nka ye kono no but sisi a na inside information be say US for a blacklist Ghana say aha enye safe and nam bokunta wantawa no odo say yanko but ama say ama advise some citizens some hwe na amutu kan ba Ghana mo hwe ho ye because aha enye safe mom insecurity nsem no enko ye wa wadwentwe ne say won asem no
BBC ba say my ejuma or embassy diplomacy usually ye free we advisory ye tough offer a footwo na ebeboa and sometimes we look at the security situation embassies are kese no to say US there no ne aka no omo military attaché and a defense attaché recently China for there na we na ejuma or call very important setting. I was privileged to be there and the Chinese are trying to build a defense college for Ghana here in the Republic of Ghana. It's usually almost share situation. But I know what's in crime. Sebe ewie when you BB means me di BB. Baby I'm free by obi and stop me. And we have to be careful as we follow some of these diplomatic advisories. US and Kasa, there are places in US are only safe. Or nantia kohwa yebitimi issue too. Does that mean so be into me call US be mana? Does that mean say invested be into me call US? Hosonjo. In fact, sometimes you feel safer walking within African cities than in America. Because I have obi into me call because color is different. I hope to me shoot too because on sign. Just because of that. Madam Fubia catcher me say sneakers kambu. Obi to me share ukwana say you kambu no when ya no we shoot to no afa kambu. Nipa nkwa ensehwe. So the white people cannot lecture us on morality. Because we are better off. Our traditional systems, our religious systems make us even better people than they are. Se Borkina President, other cities close by, they are peaceful. How much more Accra Kumasi for you to issue something like this? And to make us say, it means that it's a wake-up call. One say you will be pepe. Ohanchi mu be 90% impo na 10% etoche ma. One say you no betimi asay wudi. Nti bibia e betimi aya solve bokono. Ye be sra amanyofo. E ma yemfa politics for sa issue we. Yemfa no credie and solve the issue no once and for all. But I think Ghana is still one of the most conducive places and most peaceful places to do business. nti enuanom a omo etu kwan sika amwo no momfa mra momfa bie mbie enjuma mon send ma ebusuafo na momfa enye ejuma mamo Ghana is still safe oye ejuma amanone na okọ ubeje wa home a Ghana is a safe place to come so we won't allow another country to blacklist Ghana. We know we are living in peace and we welcome the rest of the world to come and live with us in peace and invest in Ghana.
Nti ehu behia se ehu hia kra se besi military base kra o.
There be ehu hia.
Oh, north mpo
There be ehu hia. Already our Kamina barracks, our Tamale.
Okay.
And apart from that, we share Boko case na any other conflict situations. It drain on the national purse.
Yeah.
Australia yede ne koho. Apart from salary oji dada free nkran no. He is taking a risk. Inti alawabi weekly and daily or say ye demand. Petrol a mo be use. Sebi hospital equipment a de be koho. Nema bebre. So Boko cannot be an open-ended conflict. Ye best re afanemi no ni na kusasi ni mampurusifo. Mampurusifo mu kunkumu bia e wo Boko a mo nye mo tribe na DNAC. Kusasi for mu kunkumu mu nso ina na what have you achieved? Nti emfa yonkopa yonkodo ene nkabom entina because yonkodo ni nkabom na de mpunto beba Boko ene Ghana ina.
Nti otumfo aba mu ne de me sure say
we some training and kasa. Nsem ni bi wo ho a se na me kan no.
Okay. But black magic e adwuma say odi aduro betimi ye tutu a.
Anka eduro ye adwuma anka abrofo na mbeto an hye nananom so. Uwe eduro na aba betam okusika kokko de akọ. Eni eduro no enye eduro papa no no. Odi etu aba. Waba betam ne owo ina de akọ still also black magic. From where I sit, ya mamra ni ya mane no credie ni ne keka ho no. Those are the values we should embrace. But okay say me ma ofugu ye shutu a etu aboba nkawa. Madam for so and it's etu oni eti abro Friday ni. Proper AK-47. Oh yeah. Also the bansere. Achichire ho nti. Ube wukwa. Nti ebesire mmebo no. Nyama te sesa. People are building AI. People are building technologies. Your university wa Ghana ha. Omo left they be say. Oshenso I see our engineering students. Obi aye mechanical engineering. Ni car essay a just a fit ni a ontina class 6. Ono na beba bi kan. I don't know. We are confused people. I believe that we need to go back to our roots, our values. I believe that oyera kwan ya ohwe wanamon tuo akwa hwehwe we kira kwan. And that is exactly what Ghana and the rest of Africa. Look, nothing has never happened before. Bibia yesese me catch will be that crow. Me say and utumi fro obi say hey obi eyare and I be boni bi si wo ikura. So me say there be ye no ye wo ye nche but you hu ye. O ma me to me sorry before mobile phone. O say anope de me home family enche amane be free kurasa ba say obi ahwere ne nkwa na bibi boni esi. So we had that telecommunication. Me friend of black magic, but now we always a miss.
Bit me na pem bibi okoba bi no na boa so nko bi. Yeah.
Obi put me ka say me can get enche obi ba be che me.
That to power especially.
But now say they say the economy na issue no I beg you cause one see the problem becho. So I don't think no. God bless them with something. Sometimes you see those times when they were ignorant, I beg to differ. And they lived longer. One and a beer is no better with the 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. Chief Imam made more than 100 years.
106 or so.
Yes. So what did they do right? It means their way of life, their mannerisms, their societal makeup was wholesome to the human being. Inti yakwa kofa nyema eni say uko wari oba or say oh you share a self-contained and me dware me piansa makwa ko dware. But She self-contained niye. Ochina ye holiday.
Yeah.
Obi be free officer ba okoni apartment aye nhunu biom. Oni nipa nkasa until so be say assume say on betu ni car ne hoye. We don't interact. But first if you any mu gota ye be chiche. Mo Monday mo be Tuesday we mo be compound ye chiche. Washroom ye chiche. Yeah, we grew up in houses Jardino Mokase no. It was a United Nations Mokase. O maame ko port wa ha, obi foforo ko port wa ha. It created a sense of community. Ye didi boom. Say wo ma obi fa ni plate na akọ dem or browse. So there is no connection. Ye didi affairs no. Wa usano enam no na obechiche. Na so na obe last.
It's true.
And the reason was that you get what you ask for. And when you are just, you don't suffer. When you are unjust, you suffer. Because ochiche nam no anyhow, I say no be last. Enti ye ka say abejimi time na omote on meni nipa nya adwene. We have to retrace our roots sankofa. Me nka say ka ba enti emfa ka. Enti ufri Kumasi from Nkran 95 sa Kumasi. Me ye wo say me di wabro. Me nka say emfa wi mhyen. But there are basic values and nananum di janye. Me believe it say we go back to those values and Ghana ne ebi brembe kravehwe ya me adom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's pa say when you have to come. In fact, what try niam bebre pa baby edify baby pie baby a yadri that's pa ye gina boss Kofi Adoma na mu sada wase.
Me so Kofi asem no aha me pa se ne ho mfa no. Before that, no me kasai or frame on some international security issues. Okay. And I say, Minia Abdul Wahab wa by there. It was okay for the day. And I war angel, so sometimes Abdul Wahab name me na it me kotina ho. And I wish him a speedy recovery. And manabe mumbu. We are si bibi e bisi no. When yankopon will reason na. On manisi ebia we yankopon peso wo sie ne kakra se na be or bounce back or be bounce back even stronger and wo yakobo ni ns ni other people are maso ni chi no ya me mamo ahoden se na be bia Kofi akwakoye edwuma na akwakosi no be boro sample be ba no na ni age edwuma o maye nti oni na ebusuafo yi na I wish them the very best and I wish him a speedy recovery.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. Abusia and ya bon komo pa na e say TV am your sure say what na as time goes on you say the bro bia so ye de ebebro midin e de Mubarak ya kubu mini Ernest na Ernest Black Panther wanfa nka ho a edin is complete e da gabi e da bunyina mo ase yakram.
The traditional foods are no starch and the carbohydrates mu bebre. But true grain food starch and carbohydrates no kids way bi na wom. Very healthy. A bone who buy free yare bi to say diabetes, kidney failure, cholesterol, hypertension, cancer. Any keka ho. True grain food or more breakfast options to say cocoa, Tom Brown, oatmeal. Any keka ho bebre.
True grain food.
Oh yes, our products now are 100% organic and natural. So we here don't be to me deliver my baby
My chef and party planner. You know we can't get this retirement/birthday shinding go wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Alright, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku.
Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Adibab, man. No worries.
So with Capt, I have got a cake and decorations covered from here.
You handle the food.
If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me.
I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, Chairman, it is for day.
Say, no be easy, you. Chairman has time and money. Allah.
Kweku tap, Kweku do, Kweku that.
Our chairman can't call you.
Hey, Alande, Chairman send them.
Tap send. Papa no.
Hello, love.
Gary, do you have Mommy's parcel for her big day?
The shipping company says it will take 1 month.
A month?
Gary, use Rapid.
Rapid? Rapid courier ships from the United States to Ghana and 9 other African countries within 3 to 5 days. Log on to rapidgroup.com, buy, ship to us, and we deliver right to your doorstep.
That fast? Yes, that's Rapid for you. Can you sign this?
I thought you only ordered Mommy's parcel.
No, I ordered a few car parts too.
Are you too busy to shop? We will shop for you. Rapid also has a luggage delivery service, so you can make that extra luggage and we will deliver at the lowest rate.
Rapid Courier, just shop, we deliver. Enjoy.
Spices day and one Remy spices or dinner Remy dependable.
Remy spices, Remy.
Young papa, what the Remy spices you work here? And we are fine. Remy spices, dear, so who you swam. And first spices for Biafra. Flavors not so dear, baby. Chicken, goat, jollof, stew. Spices be our washing. Remy will be home. And for Adriani dear and to chacha. Remy spices. And Adriani decade.
Alakados Properties is ready to relieve you from the stress of finding units and setting up viewings or sell your house. Connect with Alakados Properties. We are specialized in sales and rentals of properties, property management, and consulting.
Alakados Properties is a real estate agency we work with, and we are committed to giving their guests the best experience in accommodation. You can also rely on Alakados Properties to find your long or short-term accommodation whilst in Ghana.
Malata African market, and I'm Papa. African market. Order for so bronze ha. Now open African market. Papa didra. Mo akoma to yem dia. Malata African market. Edem sronko. Smoked fish, meat, dry fish. Sao pekenki, rice, yam, fufu flour ni nnuane ahodo e free Africa. Afei, ye want to ma papa. Bo wire kente, adamase kente. Ahweni ahodo. Ani nneoma bebre. Na wobenya wo Malata African market. Hwehwe ye chi akwan ene e number e wo screen so. Malata African market. African market mu King Kong. Malata African market. And I'm Papa. African market. African market.
At Diaspora Insurance, we understand the importance of dignified send-offs within Ghanaian culture and traditions. We also understand that you want to avoid the double trauma of your family grieving and not having the financial support to cover funeral expenses when you're not around. With our Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, you can now cover yourself or your family in Ghana or abroad. With no medicals required, we'll accept you if you are under 75 years. Visit our website today or call us to complete a simple form in under 5 minutes. With Diaspora Insurance, your